Hi again. This is going to be the 4th installment in me showing off my record collection. This time it's going to be a bit more varied. I know last time there was about like 10 or 9 Bjork records and then a couple other people. But I'm definitely going to have a bit more of a variety in this one. Let me fix this real quick. That's better. But yeah, so let's just go right into it. Starting with Atrocity Exhibition, Danny Brown. This came out 2016, I believe. I managed to get my hands on the special edition, which came in that like sleeve there, like this little sleeve thing here, and then both the records are on like a clear, like hot pink. For those who don't know, Danny Brown, hip hop artist. I wouldn't want to call him experimental. Slightly experimental, I would say. Definitely so on this album. This was a kind of return to form for him. He had the album, I don't remember what it's called, but he had an album he released that was very much much poppier than his previous stuff. The stuff you'd see on like Triple X. And this is very much going back to what you hear on Triple X. And he does a wonderful job on that sound. Just all the beats on here are so out there and just strange, and you just thinking to yourself, I don't know how the hell he's rapping over this. Some nice like photography on all the sleeves. Very, very twisted, weird photography. The whole idea behind this album is like Danny Brown has struggled with a lot of like drugs and stuff like that, and he's sort of the exhibition. He's the atrocity that you're viewing, and he's kind of giving you a look into his life. And the music really reflects that. Definitely on songs like Downward Spiral and Pneumonia. There's so many fantastic hip-hop songs on here. Definitely check out Really Dough with Kendrick Lamar, Ab-Soul, and Earl Sweatshirt. Probably the best song on here, and one of the just best like posse cuts I've heard in a really long time. It's so good. So that's Danny Brown. Next one I got is Jeff Buckley, Grace. I don't listen to this record very much. Obviously it's got like his fantastic songs in there, like the Hallelujah cover, and it's got Grace, the title track. But just nothing I really throw on that much. It was a gift. From my uncle, and it was a record that he loved and he thought I would enjoy, and I have listened to it. It's a fantastic record. It's just something I don't throw it on very often. But yeah, definitely check this out if you haven't heard it. All right, going to a different Buckley now. Now we're going to Tim Buckley. This is, I'm gonna take these out of the sleeves, starting with Happy Sad. Right? Happy Sad? Yeah, Happy Sad. This is my personal favorite Buckley album. Goodbye Hello is in a close second, but this is definitely his, I think the one where he kind of came into his own a bit. Like before he was doing the psychedelic folk thing, but in these ones he added a bit more of a jazzy sound to it that I feel like suited him well. So you have songs on here like Strange Feelin', Buzz and Fly, Love from Room 109 at the Islander on Pacific Coast Highway. These very long, slow, very chilled out songs, like psychedelic, folky songs, but with like a very, jazz twist on it. And I feel like this is his most unique album and his most impressive from a songwriting stance. And I don't know, if you want to check out Tim Buckley, I would definitely listen to Goodbye Hello. That's an awesome album, as well as this. And then the other Tim Buckley record I have is his self-titled album. It might be his debut. I'm not sure. I've never listened to this entire thing. It really doesn't captivate me. I just think it's boring. Compared to his other stuff and some of his more refined later albums, this is not his finest work. I can't even point at any relevant songs on here. I don't listen to it like at all. But it was my grandma's, so I don't want to give it away or anything like that. But yeah, Definitely check out Tim Buckley. I know I'm ripping on this record, but overall he's a great artist. Sticking with the whole psychedelic folk thing, we have one of my all-time favorite folk artists, Vashti Bunyan. This is her album, Just Another Diamond Day. This is one of the best folk albums ever made, and possibly the best psychedelic folk album. If you don't know her, she's a British psychedelic folk artist. This came out in either 1969 or 1970, kind of right in the middle of that whole psychedelic folk era with Incredible String Band and like bands like that, and Tim Buckley, just artists where that sound was very popular. The funny story about this one was that I guess when it was made, she was so discouraged with it and just unhappy with the way it sounded and unhappy with how horribly it sold that she basically just pushed music away and she didn't make music for, God, it must have been 40 years probably. But this is a very, very quaint, very cutesy, pretty folk album, psychedelic folk album. A lot of strings, flutes, along with the normal guitar, but excellent songwriting as well in terms of tracks. Timothy Grubb is an excellent song. Swallow Song, Come Wind, Come Rain, Rainbow River, Jog Along Bess. That song. The song Jog Along Bess and Timothy Grubb kind of tell the story behind this album. All the songs were written while she was going across country with her husband, I believe, by horseback and carriage, and just going all around England, just kind of like nomads. And she wrote about that in the song Timothy Grubb, and Jog Along Bess is about all the animals that were with her throughout that journey. So it's cool to learn the story behind this album as well. But yeah, definitely a fantastic folk album if you have not listened to it. And the other Vashti Bunyan record I have is the one she released about 40 years after the first one. This is Lookaftering. She kind of released this during the whole, I can't think of the correct term, when psychedelic pop started, or psychedelic folk started coming back in the style in the 2000s. This is called Lookaftering. I don't listen to it very much, but it's still a fantastic psychedelic folk album. Since it was in a time where you weren't trying to just sell records, she could go a bit more down the psychedelic rabbit hole. Stupid. Psychedelic rabbit hole. And not worry about it selling or anything like that. She actually made a fantastic record over here because she wasn't as limited, in my opinion. But yeah, definitely check out Vashti Bunyan. She's an amazing songwriter. Ooh, the next one. This is some fucking fire right here. Kate Bush, Hounds of Love. Kate Bush is so underrated in America. I know she's really big in England, but she just not enough people talk about her here. She is such just a revolutionary pop artist, art pop artist, chamber pop artist, whatever you want to call it. She is the biggest person in that area. So many good songs on here. Running Up That Hill. I'm running up that hill. Running up that building. I fucked that up, but whatever. The Hounds of Love, The Big Sky, Mother Stands for Comfort, Cloud Busting. And then the second half of the album, which is all that big story where all the tracks connect. So good. Oh my god. Just nothing really sounds like this album. It's such a just unique piece of art that was put together. It's so good, and I'm lucky to have a copy of it. Yeah, so Hounds of Love. Next one. Got some more hip hop. We got Cavanaugh, Time and Materials. I can't remember when this came out. It's pretty recent. This is a collaboration between the rapper Open Mike Eagle and Serengeti. I knew Open Mike Eagle, just his own project and stuff like that. but I knew Serengeti through Sisyphus, which was his collaboration with Sufjan Stevens and Sun Lux, which I actually do have a copy of that, but I'll show that later. It's a pretty short album, but just the songs themselves are just so well like put together and crafted. All the beats are really interesting. Songs like Typecast is really awesome. That has Bus Driver on it. He's an amazing MC. Yeah, it's just if you like Open Mike Eagle and you haven't heard this, if you like Serengeti and you haven't heard this, it's a wonderful collaborative album. They have a lot of chemistry on this thing. It's really, really good. I don't think it's depressing as anything special. Yeah, just a black record. All right, next one. This is a weird one. This is Circuit des Yeux. This is her newest album, Reaching for Indigo. I learned about her because I went to see Animal Collective in concert last year, and she was the opener. And I wasn't a big fan of the concert itself. I think I talked about this in a previous record episode, but I wasn't a big fan of Animal Collective at that time. I don't know why. They seemed like off their game, but she blew my goddamn mind. It was just her and a guitar and some distortion pedals, and just her fucking voice. It sounds like a demon Kermit the Frog, which sounds not appealing, but like it's so creepy and weird. I don't even know exactly what to call it. It's like, I guess psychedelic folk, but very experimental. Very reminiscent of the later stuff you'd hear from like Scott Walker. So like Tilt and just that later era of Scott Walker. Definitely very reminiscent of Tilt by him. Black Fly is a fantastic song. Philo, one of the best records to come out last year. Just such an, I don't know, just so out there that it's just a wonder to look at. Also, beautiful, beautiful album cover. But yeah, definitely check out Circuit des Yeux. She's amazing. Alright, next one we got. I talked about this one in my vinyl tag video. This is the Chamber Brothers' Greatest Hits. I don't listen to it too much, but it's still a fairly good listen. Psychedelic funk kind of thing. It was a gift for my girlfriend, and I appreciate that. I told the story in my vinyl tag video. I don't want to go over all of that again, but yeah, definitely check out the Chamber Brothers. They're a great band. Oh, the next one. Oh my goodness. This record is so fucking good. This is Know Now by Clarence Clarity. If you don't know Clarence Clarity, he's a producer, multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, and this album is one of the most whacked out pieces of R&B pop that has been made in the past decade. I don't even know. Everything is so layered and dense with just noise and sound. There's never a dull moment when it comes to sound on this album. And it's like an hour long, and every track is worth it. There's no wasted time on this album. Just so many good songs. And he does so many interesting things too. Like, for instance, the last track on here is called Now I Am, and then the first track is called Become Death. And what happens is that track, this Become Death it sounds like it starts off right in the middle of a song, and you're like, what the fuck was that? Now I Am starts and sounds exactly like the closing track, and then cuts off randomly. And so if you put this record on loop, it actually just plays in a loop. So this connects right back to the first track, which is really, really awesome and creative. I believe the record is actually a gold record. Boom. Nice. I believe the other one looks exactly like that. But yeah, super good songs. And they're all catchy too, despite the fact that they're kind of noisy, loud, bustling, crazy. So, Will to Believe, Alive in the Septic Tank, Bucktooth Particle Smashers, Those Who Can't Cheat, The Gospel Truth, Porn Mountain, Meadow Hopping, Traffic Stopping, Death Splash, Cancer in the Water, Fuck It All, Cancer in the Water. Which it's like a big gospel song that you would not expect on an album like this. It's amazing what he did on this album. Definitely check out Clarence Clarity. Also check out Rina Sawayama, who he produced. Both of them are amazing, amazing, amazing. Alright. Next one. This is Benjamin Clementine with... I always forget the name of this record, At Least For Now. If you don't know Benjamin Clementine, he is a singer-songwriter out of UK. Very reminiscent of, like, say, a French chanson singer, similar to someone like Jacques Brel or Serge Gainsbourg. Maybe even, I would say, some early Scott Walker. I know I mentioned him earlier. But, the early Scott Walker stuff, like Scott 1 through 4. I think you would definitely enjoy this album. He has such personality in his voice. And along with that, just fantastic and beautiful lyrics to go with it. You can really back that up. A lot of, like, just really well done tracks on here, like Condolence, Winston Churchill's Boy, Then I Heard a Bachelor's Cry, Adios. Adios is fucking cool. But yeah, definitely a record that you need to check out. I believe it won a Mercury Prize, actually. I believe back in 2015, maybe? When was this released? Yeah, it was released in 2015, so I think that's when it won the Mercury Prize, but definitely a fantastic album. I believe the records are just on black. Yeah, just on black. But I still don't have his second record on vinyl. I'm looking forward to that, because I actually prefer his second one to this one, despite this one being so good. Definitely check out his second record. I believe that one's called I Tell a Fly. But yeah, Benjamin Clementine is someone to keep your eyes on. He's a fantastic, fantastic songwriter. Alright, next one. We got a lot of hip-hop in this one. That's nice. Next one. We got Clipping with Open. It's I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. It's just their band name, but they took out the vowels. So Clipping. But this is a fucking outstanding album. It's hip-hop with elements of noise and industrial music, because the two producers who make the beats, it's a three-piece. There's Daveed Diggs as the MC, Wesley Snipes, oh shoot, I'm gonna forget their names. I always forget their goddamn names. Yeah, I'm totally forgot their fucking names. But, let me see. I'm trying to see if they say them here anywhere. William Hudson and something Snipes. I can't remember. It says Jay Snipes, and I don't remember what his first name is. But Daveed Diggs, William Hudson, and something Snipes. But yeah, they're. If you listen to some of their music, it's industrial, it's noise, it's harsh noise, and then you have Daveed Diggs, and if you listen to his solo stuff, it's just kind of hip hop. And so you brought these two worlds together that you wouldn't think would mix. And they come out so well. Everything on this album is catchy, it's harsh, it's scary. And the cool thing about it is that every song on here is a story. They don't use the word I in it at any point. I remember watching an interview where he was talking about that. They wanted to write a record where they didn't use the word I. Every song on here is a story. So you have songs like Body and Blood, which is about a woman who lures guys back to her house only to, like, murder them and steal their body parts. And that song's crazy. It has, like, a chainsaw in the fucking beat of the song. And then Daveed Diggs is just spitting, like, fire over that. And Work, that was them trying to do their own play on, like, a DJ Mustard beat. And it comes off really well. Inside Out is fantastic. Get Up is a genius track. Like, the beat itself is just an alarm clock. Just like, that's it. And he's just rapping over that. Like, he's using it almost as like a beat. Like, that's the beat right there. Just that's the rhythm. He's using that as the rhythm, and there's nothing else. It's such a completely skeletal song. And then Story 2 is great. Just such a fantastic piece of work. And cool because it's a triple gatefold and you got all the members there. If you're a fan of, like, say, something like Death Grips, definitely check out Clipping. They're so, so good and so talented. And the other Clipping album I have is their only other full length, and that's Splendor and Misery. This is a bit different than what they did on their other one. This one is one whole story. Well, the other one was a bunch of different stories. And this one is much less catchy. They seem to go more for like a drone-y sound on a lot of these songs. So like, and let me tell the story of this album. The story is that this dude here is like on a slave ship, except it's like a spaceship. So he's like a slave in like an intergalactic slave trade, and so what happens is he managed to break out and kill the entire crew and all the other people on the ship and take control of it and commandeer it and run away. So he's a runaway slave, but in space. And what they do on this album to contrast those two worlds is that they combine very noisy, strange, very spacey sounds with gospel music. Like, it goes back and forth between like slavery era gospel music combined with this sci-fi sounding hip-hop noise beats. It's so like just creative the way they do it. This one is actually on a nice clear record too. I cannot stress enough how just insanely creative these guys are, and just how great storytellers they are too. Like, what a fantastic and creative album this one is. I would say look up some of the tracks, but like you really kind of need to listen to them in the context of the album. Some of them you don't have to. Baby Don't Sleep, which is one of their more experimental songs, I'd say. Where's the other one that's good? Air 'Em Out is actually a really like catchy song. One of the like few catchy songs on here. But yeah, there's just a dense story in all of this, and it's amazing that they did that in such a short amount of time and just in such a creative way. This is a fantastic album. Definitely check out Clipping. Alright, and the last two I'm going to show in this video are both by a fantastic songwriter, someone I don't listen to enough and want to listen to more. It is Leonard Cohen. Like I said, I don't listen to these two very much. This is songs of Leonard Cohen, so kind of self-titled, and this one is Songs from a Room. This one has Bird on a Wire, which is one of his best songs. I don't know many of the other ones on here. And this one has, let me check here. It doesn't say the track list on the back. Let me see, what's this one got on it? This one's got Sisters of Mercy. That one's great. And it also has... Yeah, no other ones that I really know. I'm not big into Leonard Cohen. I should be, but I don't listen to these very much. Definitely check him out, though. He's considered one of the great songwriters for a reason. This is another guy if you enjoy this guy, you might also enjoy that Benjamin Clementine guy. But yeah, looks like that is going to be it for this video. Next time we're going to pick up with... Looks like Comus is going to be what we're going to be doing next and going on through there. So, I will see you next time.